this is Valerie. Today we're going to talk about home care website design, and I'm going to give you some tips and advice for the best home care website design. We've been doing this for a really long time, and I wrote this article today, Web Design for Home Care, Design a Website that Sets You Apart. You can see that on Facebook. It'll be in our next newsletter, and it's here. The first thing I want to tell you is that when you're thinking about having a new website designed, or if you think you don't need one, I want you to reassess that thought. When you're first starting out, it's understandable that you may want to do something super cheap, super easy, because you don't even know, although you have every intention of your business succeeding, you don't really know if it will or not, and you don't want to spend a bunch of money on something that may not last. I get that completely. Been there. But once you've been in business for a year or so, and you know that this is a viable business and that you need to really put your best foot forward, you need a website that is going to showcase your incredible staff, your incredible mission, vision, and values that is not built on Wix or Weebly or Squarespace or any of those. I get it in the beginning, but that is not where you need to be long term. You need to have a professional website build. A professional website build, in my opinion, in 14 years of doing this, is a WordPress website. Now, some developers don't like WordPress, but they are few and far between anymore. Most people use WordPress. And it should be a clean, easy, fast-loading website. So this is one that we recently rebuilt. And Credit Care has been around for a very long time, but they needed something that was really going to set them apart, and they needed something that was up to date. And one of the things I want you to notice about this website, you're looking at a very large screen, so I'm going to kind of shorten this up a little bit for you so that you can see what it would look like, say, on a laptop. Okay, that's a better picture. So now you can kind of see laptop size. I have a really big monitor, so it looks really big. What I want you to notice is that there's white space here. I mean, it's got a lot of text, but we also have a lot of white space or plain space here. And that's okay. You need to have a clean, easy to navigate website for your clients who, them and their adult children, are probably not super web savvy. Some of them are absolutely, totally web savvy, and some are not. And I would say majority as we get older, of course, they might not be web savvy. You also need to be able to look at this from a mobile perspective. So you see how I squished it all together? And you see what continuously stays at the top no matter what size monitor you're on? It's this phone number right here. It's clickable, and you can just click it from a mobile device, and it'll dial straight to their office. The other thing I want you to notice is that there is a lot of text, but it's very strategic text. It's very strategically placed. It says very strategic things. It uses a lot of keyword phrases. And if we look at the services pages, we can see that this is not just a paragraph of text. This is a whole lot of text that we put in here. We write this content for our clients so that they have the ability to compete with the big boys, and that would be your Visiting Angels and your Comfort Keepers, Comfort Care, Griswolds, those franchise owners. Our clients are typically independent, non-medical home care agencies and home health care agencies across the U.S. And when you're independent, you don't have the luxury of having a website that is also backed up by a gigantic website full of locations and pages and content. You just don't have that kind of luxury. It's your website and your website alone. Now, I prefer independent, non-medical. We love our franchise owners, but we cannot help them with websites. That is part of their franchise contract, and that's totally okay. But for our independents, we have to provide a website that's going to meet and beat their local competitors. So when we write these pages for our clients, we write a lot. And there's a very specific way that we go about this. I'm not going to give away all the details, but the other thing is that when you're writing these pages, when you're putting a website together, if you're dealing with somebody, an agency that is in your market, they will help you and guide you as to the best content to put on that website. If you're dealing with somebody who does websites for roofers, plumbers, lawyers, and then throws in a home care agency once in a while, they're not going to be able to help you with something like this. This is a lot of very good content, sometimes technical for the person who's writing it. And if you're not dealing with a nurse or you're not dealing with someone who works in the senior care market, they're really not going to know what to say on those pages. They haven't ever dealt with it themselves. They're not a medical professional. They haven't done all the work you've done. And so you're going to end up doing a lot of that work. Or what I see happening is we go to a service page and guess what? There's one paragraph of text. This is like the whole page is this and a picture and a form. That is definitely not going to help at all. You have to have long form content. So, and then for blog posting, you have to have blog posting that is regular, at least 2 times a month. I wish it was every week. That would be my preference. But at least 2 times a month. And some of these blog posts can be fairly short, but other blog posts should be very long. Very long blog posts, very long written content. So when you're building a website, these are some of the things you want to think about. So let's look at our article here. Home care agencies need a complete website design solution. Set yourself up for success. We talk about what success looks like. An important tip, this is what I just talked about. Your home care website developer should be assisting you with these items, meaning content, how to write the content, what content. If not, find a company that understands the senior care space. How much does a home care website design cost? The answer depends on what you want. You might want a 10-page website. You might already have a 30-page website that can be narrowed down to 10 long pages, or it might be the opposite. You need more pages on your website. This is why we don't publish our pricing, because we need to talk to you about it and find out what you got going on before we can say, well, here's how much a website's going to be. We really don't know. And then the expertise of your home care website development team. If you hire your cousin Eddie, or this is a friend's side gig and they're just going to throw something together for you, that's always going to be cheap. But it's not a cost savings if your website is full of malware, if it's unattended, if it's outdated, if it has broken images. It's not serving you at all. It'll never see the first page of Google in those cases. We have rebuilt, cleaned up, and redone so many websites in 14 years. It's amazing. And it's always related to an inexperienced team. Where is your website team really located? I get it that hiring overseas can be very cost effective, but I want you to know that it's not always a cost savings. When sometimes we have clients that come to us and they don't have us build their website, they already have a ProWeaver or something like that. That's totally fine. But when we tell them, hey, guess what? This is wrong on your website, or you've got missing images here, or it's loading really slow, you might want to consider having your web developer, fix this. They don't get answers from support. It takes 2 days to turn around and answer. There's a language barrier. They're dismissed because, you're not a human person with a family and a business to run. To them, you're a number. You're a client, but you are one of thousands of clients that they have. We are a small boutique shop, so every client is a value client. The other thing that, so they're always going to be cheaper, always, 100%, but you get what you pay for. Complicated forms and interactions. Now, this doesn't apply to most of our home care agency and home health care website folks, but if you need special coding, special functions, or something that's out of scope for traditional services, the cost will be higher. Not a frequent occurrence. You should not be charged extra for little simple things. The amount of content that needs to be written for you as opposed to by you. So if you're writing all of your content, which is not easy, and most of you did not get in the business of writing, you got in the business of home care. So we take care of this for our clients. But if you write your own content and you know how to do it well and it's search engine optimized, then you can save a lot of money. The back-end SEO strategy. There is something called advanced SEO. I don't discuss our processes here that we do. It has a lot to do with coding on the back end and schema and really taking things and the long form written content and your Google My Business page. And there's all kinds of other things that we incorporate. The speed of your website is a huge difference. So advanced SEO that will get you to the first page of Google is way more expensive than basic SEO. The quality and speed of your hosting provider. If you're hosting your website for $4.99 a month or $9.99 a month on GoDaddy Shared or GoDaddy Business Hosting, and it's $9.99, even if it's $14.99, whatever it is, it's slow. And it's wasting your time and energy because if it doesn't load fast on mobile, you're not getting there. It's not going to happen for you if your website loads slowly. Google will not show your website at the top because it's a bad user experience if your website's running slow. And everything is based on what people see on their mobile phones, not on a desktop. So you need to know what the speed of your website is on a mobile device. If it's fast and fast loading, you're awesome. If it's not, you need to think about where you're actually hosting this. Fast, amazing hosting is not cheap, but it is worth it if you are doing all the other things right on your website. My opinion is this. If you've spent less than $599, which I know, ProWeavers and places like that, I'll go $3.99, $5.99 for, 10 pages, no blog, whatever. It's going to suck. And you don't even know it. You see this beautiful website that's probably completely templated and built off of a theme that they have. It is one of 1,000 websites just like, that they've built. It's just your colors, your logo. We get it. We could do the same thing if we wanted to. But it's slow. It's clunky. You're not going to get a great support. You're not going to get them to answer you fast. They're in India. So will it get you by for your first year? Absolutely. Is it beautiful? Absolutely. Will it grow your business? Not really. Pretty sites are not always functional. Lead generating websites. So pretty is nice, but it has to be functional and lead generating. The placement of forms, the placement of your phone number, all those things are really important. And you have to look at the mobile version. Also, the next piece is about solving your prospect's problem. And let's look at this. I put these two pictures here. You don't have to ask somebody what their problem is. When they come to your website, we all know what their problem is, right? You know what the problem is. They're having a senior care, elder care challenge, and they are worried and they need some help. So your statement on the homepage of your website can be shorter, it can be long, but whatever it is, it needs to solve their problem. It doesn't have to be this big title necessarily, but somewhere in this first piece of text on mobile and on desktop, you should talk to them about the fact that you can solve their problem. Without the problem-solving statement, you're going to lose them. These are professionally done, professionally copyrighted websites that really generate great leads on mobile and on desktop. Content is still king on your home care website. So content in video, content in writing and content by way of video are both very important. You should have a unique value proposition. That is such a confusing statement for people. What it means is what sets you apart. It's so hard to set yourself apart when you know that every home care agency on this block does the same thing that you do. However, you got into this business for a different reason than the owner down the street. Maybe it's because of your experience with a family member, or maybe it's because you were a nurse's aide and you became a home care agency owner. You thought that you could do things better, and you do. So there's always a unique value proposition. Maybe your staff specializes in Alzheimer's and dementia care, or maybe it's ALS care, or maybe it's Parkinson's and mobility care. Whatever that is, you need to figure it out and let it shine on your website. Conduct a website content audit. Okay, some of you have very little content, so there's no need to get serious about this. It just isn't there. And some of you have tons and tons of content because your website is old. It's been redone in the inside 50 million times and 30,000 pages, and different SEOs have added all this other content. So you end up with a 40, 50 page website that's not doing anything for you. Let us look at it. If you don't want to do conduct a website content audit, I totally get it. What we do is we look at all the content, we figure out what we can put together, what we can turn into posts, what we can add all to one page. We do all of that stuff and then hand you back a website plan that still includes all your content, but reorganizes them in a way that it's not so clunky. Target each of your client types. You've probably heard the word persona in the past. That means, for instance, the 40 or 50-year-old female with 70-year-old parents who's looking for senior care advice, help. She's got a problem that she needs solved. So that's one persona. Then you have the spouse that's taking care of their husband, and the husband has dementia. That's another persona. So you want to write content that hits them where they live. The adult child, the spouse, the senior, everybody has to be included in the content, and it has to have meaning to them. Also, your referral sources. You want your content to be educational. You want your content to be uplifting. And so your referral sources see what a good job you're doing too. Include the most important content on your website. You should always have a blog, 100% of the time. There's never a time when you shouldn't have a blog. Always have it. You should have some premium content like the guide to home care in ABC Town, your services page, client testimonials about us, your team if you want to. I'm not even a big fan of that. Just the owner, co-owners, that's fine. Employee spotlights, which would be caregiver of the month, office person of the month, whatever you want to call it. Updates to job postings. Yes, you should have a careers page, your process, your frequently asked questions, and videos if you have them. Post new blog articles regularly, twice a month minimum, 4 times a month is great, or more. Have the right team behind you. I consider our team to be the right team. We know exactly what you're facing right now in 2022 with recruiting and marketing both, and we can help you on both fronts and design your website to be attractive not only to new clients but to caregivers. Have long-form content that is search engine optimized. You cannot throw a website or a web page up and have it rank because the title of the page is search engine optimized. The whole page has to be search engine optimized before you're ever going to get movement, and we've learned that. And that's how we build our websites, long-form content. Next steps for your home care website design. If you're not sure, you may have a major awesome website, or you may have some stinky problems that you don't know about. So if you go right here and hit free website audit, all you got to do is fill out our form. Beep. We ask a few questions because we want to know how you found us, and then we'll audit your website for you, give you back what our recommendations are. You can take those recommendations to your web developer. Your web developer is Cousin Eddie, or somebody who was doing this as a side gig and now they don't do it anymore. We will be happy to help you. And we will be happy to schedule a consultation, which of course is free, and talk to you about your needs, how many pages, what you want it to look like, and your logo, your colors, all that stuff. And we have an entire suite of websites that you can look at. Like, this is our portfolio. So you can go through here. If you click on one, this is an assisted living facility, by the way. If you click on it, you can see what the home pages look like on mobile, iPad, laptop, and on a big screen. So you want to make sure that your website is a reflection of you, your values, your mission, your vision, your population, your audience. I love this one in particular. I don't know why. It's just such rich colors. We can change the colors of people's clothes, by the way. So these are some great websites. So if you need a new website, you can flip through these and see all the ones we've done recently. We add new ones all the time. So that's it. I just wanted to give you an overview of what all of this means and the advice on home care website design. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.